Welcome back to the Alaskan Arctic for what promises to be a great day in the outdoors. I'd like to take a minute and share some of the features of this tent. This vent is connected to the inside of the tent and allows air to easily flow out of the tent. It's smart to have a fireproof mat in front of your stove. This stove can heat the tent to uncomfortably hot temperatures, but right now it's very comfortable in here. I keep the box that I transport my stove in at the head of my bed so I can fill it with firewood. I have 2 gear lofts in this tent. They are very good for drying gear and ensure that your clothing is toasty warm in the morning. Here's a look at the vent from the inside of the tent. The tent sleeve fits inside the rainfly sleeve so air can be evacuated outside. Here's the cool part. The vent sleeve on the front of the tent is lower, so it brings in cooler, pre-warmed air from inside the vestibule, and the higher vent on the back of the tent exhausts air directly outside. The importance of this is if the tent gets smoky when you're stoking the fire, you can quickly refresh the air inside the tent. After sunrise, I went for a little ride to see if there was any wildlife out. I hadn't gone a half mile when I found a small herd of caribou feeding at the base of the hill along the banks of the river. My first thought was, this is exactly why this cabin was built here. I crossed the river and climbed the hill on the other side to gain elevation and get a good vista to overlook the land. This little red fox allowed me to get pretty close. Then we traveled together for a half mile or so, enjoying the fresh air together. After a few hours of touring around, I returned to camp to warm up, begin breaking down camp, and make lunch before I left. I have added a couple features on my stove so I can move it when it's hot. This serves a couple of purposes. First, I do not like to cook in my tent because I don't want the tent smelling like food and attracting unwanted animals. And secondly, I like to have the option to build a fire in the morning, warm up, but still be able to pack up quickly. I generally set the stove up on top of the stove box lid. This keeps the legs from sinking into the snow. The fire inside the stove is still smoldering, but it requires a little love to get it roaring again. While I take down the tent, I'm going to make lunch. The nesting stovepipe fits back into itself to save space. I like to keep all the different tent parts in their own bag. This makes it easy to find things the next time I set up the tent. The tent fabric folds and rolls up easily when it's warm, but when it's cold, the fly and the tent take up a lot more space. I take my floor saver out separately, shake it out, and fold it by itself. This removes most of the dirt out of the tent, so when I fold up the tent, it doesn't smear dirt all over the inside of the walls and the ceiling. And just like that, lunch is served. You can see that the caribou have been digging through the snow here in search of food. There's a small herd of caribou heading this way. We're going to run up here and try to cut them off. I don't like to chase them, so we'll go in this direction. I think this time of year nutrition is not easy to come by, so there's no point in running animals and making them burn unnecessary calories. Thank you for coming along today, and don't forget to subscribe for more fun in Alaska.